Welcome back to YouTube. So today we're going to talk about shooting competitions. Something that a lot of people have kind of been looking at, and I know a lot of people are interested in. I feel like, but there's a lot of guys that are not really sure how to get into it, and I think that's something that we could probably kind of give a little bit of insight into, what all goes into it. So this is a good friend of mine. This is Perry Thomas. Now, as far as mine and his background, we're not experts, we're not military, we're not law enforcement, we've not got that kind of experience. I run a gun store, and Perry,
I go to college.
Yeah. So we're just your average gun guys.
We just like to shoot guns.
Exactly. We like to
want to know how to shoot them.
And we want to be as efficient as we can. He started shooting with me at these competitions. Perry, what did you think of your first competition?
It was a lot of fun, very stress-inducing. It was good to get some experience just drawing from concealment and being able to push yourself to perform well under stress. It's not really something you can do very well on the range.
Yeah, even shooting with like a couple buddies, you get a level of stress with the timer, but it's not quite, hey, I'm competing against guys that are shooting in state. Like the next weekend after our competition was state, and a lot of those people were freaking good.
Yeah.
So
all those guys have been shooting since they were in their early 20s like us. So being able to have them to give us input and pointers on what to do, what not to do, how to do stuff better. You can't get that experience by yourself. Guys seeing that you want to get into it and then wanting to help you was very good.
Yeah, and this was just a level 1 IDPA competition, which is essentially as entry level as it gets. It's not anything crazy. There are still crazy little targets going on, which you'll see in some of the shooting video from that day. Now, I'll be flat out honest. IDPA has some stupid rules. Every competition has dumb rules. For example, our class, carry optics, we were both shooting optics ready pistols. This is Perry's. It's a Glock 19 Gen 5. Mine's a Shadow Systems MR920. And so we were shooting in carry optics, which limits us to having 10 rounds in our magazine. There were stages where we had to have less, but we could never have more. I think that's kind of dumb. And there are other things. It's like
you can't drop a mag that still has rounds in it.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that they do to level the playing field for everybody, so everybody has the same amount of rounds in their gun. But I think it's probably just as a scoring.
Yeah, and it
keep
is.
Everybody
it is.
in the same round.
That's another thing, is you have to fit your gun in a certain size box and whatnot. You were saying earlier about the other people that are there, the older guys that are there giving you advice. That's another cool thing. You don't get that from going and shooting by yourself, shooting with buddies, whatever. Whenever you're shooting with guys that have been doing it for 20-something years.
Longer than we've been alive.
Exactly, longer than we've been alive. Those guys, they have got a level of experience and understanding to it that we don't have. And I mean, they're going to see us make mistakes that we don't even realize we're making. I know one thing I did was whenever I was moving between a couple targets, I did it in a certain way. I basically was following another guy, what he had done. But then I was talking to another guy, and he was like, hey, the way that this other guy did it was better for his specific situation, because his round counts going for this target, this target, this target. Then he does a reload, moves to this target, this target, this target. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking, wow, that movement was really smooth between those targets, and he didn't have to worry about, any kind of fall backwards with his gun pointed this way. And he basically gave me a quick walkthrough of how I could have done it and be a little bit faster, more efficient. Something I wouldn't have thought about. For civilians, I mean, it's not like you can just, show up on a police range for police qualification and go shoot with those guys. So the only real stress that a civilian's going to get through shooting is with competition.
You kind of have to be creative. Everybody performs differently under stress.
Yeah.
So you can't simulate what it would be like to actually have to draw your gun on somebody, but getting as much stress as possible while still trying to perform and having to try and
Mm-hmm.
beat other guys' times and accuracy, that's as close as you're gonna get to it.
And that's part of carrying responsibly is knowing how you shoot under pressure. And I tell my gun store customers that all the time, that doesn't matter how much you go out and shoot paper target, that does nothing for you. It gets the fundamentals down, but it doesn't help you in any way down the road.
It will force you to reload, and so you have to have your fundamentals down on working the gun, reloading. It really touches on a lot of stuff.
It hits a lot of things that you're not going to get just from plinking around.
Yeah, you can go to an indoor range or an outdoor range and just stand there and shoot all day, but you're never going to be able to work on reloads because they always have rules. You're never going to get to move around or they had hostage targets, so trying to not hit the hostage on top of the stress of moving, reloading, and trying to go fast, I killed the hostage pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh, you smoked it.
Yeah. So you don't have time to kind of plan out your situation. You kind of have to go with the flow and think on the move.
Well, and
think quick.
That's even the funny thing, right? Is like before each stage, you technically get to plan it, but you talk to any of the guys that shoot, any guys that shoot, even the guys that have been shooting for, like we were saying earlier, long we've been live, they'll create a plan, and then as soon as that gun comes out of the holster, that plan's gone. Now, as far as me and Perry, I've done 2 competitions. This was my second one. This is his first competition, so we're not super seasoned shooters or anything. We're not good. I mean, we're decent, but we're not like super good or anything. But we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why we do it. Also, another thing that I know a lot of people are scared about with competition stuff is the cost. You look on a lot of like USPSA stuff and a lot of different shooting competitions, period. And it's like, oh, you got to pay a membership to this range, or pay a membership to this club, and then you can get into this competition, and the competition costs this much, and blah, 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 and the gear costs this much. That's a really cool thing about IDPA. Like you were saying, you shoot what you carry, and especially for guys like me and you, we're not carrying, competition holsters and shooting with a vest on and all that. We're literally just carrying exactly how we carry every day, getting the reps in with that, and then that way, every day we're more comfortable with what we got. The entry for these competitions $15. That's nothing. And then typically an IDPA competition, at least a level 1 from my experience, is typically around 100 rounds. So between 25 and $50.
Yeah, I think the total round count for this was 92, but you can shoot if you miss, or you can shoot to better your score. For the amount of money, I mean, well under $50 for
Easily
couple hours of training. The equipment you need is very minimal.
It's stuff you've already got.
Yeah, I mean,
magazines you've already got.
Yeah.
Holsters you've already got. Mag carriers you've probably already got.
Yeah.
And just use that stuff.
It's a very low cost competition to get into. You don't have to have a Gucci pistol. There was some people there with very expensive guns, but I would say the majority of people were there with just your average carry guns. The only thing I had was an appendix holster with an extra mag carry.
And like you were saying, a lot of those guys, if they see you out there and you're new and you're trying to learn it, they're going to stand there and help you.
They'll help you
get
out.
Better.
I want to use the competitions just as something to get practice with what I carry. Being able to practice with your gun, train, get better, get faster, make everything more smooth. I don't think there's a better way to do that than competition.
Just to close everything out, get out, shoot a competition. If you know of somebody who in your area shoots competition, or that you're friends with or whatever, and just be like, hey man, I want to go to a competition with you, and I guarantee you they will help you through everything. This community, they're very cool people, and it's training. It's really good training, and so I think everybody should at least go to one. If you take carrying a gun serious and you take self-protection seriously, I think it's something that it's worth every penny.
Yeah, it can be very beneficial if you do it in the right way. If you show up, I mean, you walk in and you think that everybody looks like they could be douchebags or rude or everything. I mean, my fiance went with us, and she thought that everybody was going to be rude, but everyone is extremely nice. And if you show up, you show initiative that you want to get into it and that's something you want to do, then they're going to take care of you. I mean, one of the older guys there gave us a bunch of free stuff.
Yeah, he gave me a freaking shooting bag.
Yeah, he gave me a range bag and gave him a big cart with wheels and a shooting bag. They really want you to be there and they want to help you. So it's not something to be scared of. You get a lot of benefits out of it. So
Sure.
I would recommend it to anybody. Nothing but good reviews from my end.
So yeah, that's what our opinion is. Like I said, we're not experts. We're just guys who like to shoot, have fun, and get better at our stuff. So if you disagree, let us know down in the comments. If you think we're right, let us know down in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, follow us. Perry, what's your channel name?
Perry T01.
Go give him a like and subscribe. Go check his stuff out, guys.